Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is December 20th. Wow, and another year has come and gone. Amazing. We are on the second last Friday of the year, and of course the Friday before Christmas. So I'm going to be doing another video on Monday, but in case some of you miss it, I do want to extend my sincerest and happiest and warmest wishes to each and every one of you as you celebrate this holiday season. And of course, going forward into the new year, let's all hope for a good new year, and one that brings some situations that really need to be brought to resolution. Let's have some expectations that they will happen, okay? And so I wish each and every one of you all the very best. So, I guess it was last night. It could have been this morning. I'm not sure. So Christian Today, I think it's called. Apparently quite a significant publication in that venue, and they apparently came out with an op-ed basically saying that it really is trying to impeach Trump. He is no longer fit for office, and that I think of everything that I heard about it, the thing that fascinated me the most was the fact that there are a lot of white suburban females. Oh my God, where have we heard that expression before? But these ones are within that evangelical community, and they are getting fed up, as are, from what I understood, the younger generations. They can see hypocrisy, I think, when they see it with their own eyes and hear it, with their own ears thing. So that's sort of interesting, because that feels like a little bit of a punch in the wall, if you will, of Donald Trump and the evangelicals. It sounds like there are some cracks going on there. Now, is it enough to turn the entire evangelical community against him? No, it's not. But you don't need to do that. What you need to do is just get, in the next, handful of months, some people thinking logically and rationally and reasonably about what this man is doing to your country. So in that vein, I sort of thought what I would do, and of course he lashed out, right? He lashed out at them and sent them tweets and said they were terrible, and they were failing, and they were this and they were that, because God knows if there's one thing Trump can do, it's project. So, oopsie. So, hang on, I gotta retrain that. Hang on. Okay, so what fell out was the Page of Wands. So interesting, because literally as it flew out, I was, it's like juvenile communication, right? I was just talking about the tweets, and that's what you've got here. You've got, him lashing out in public, and every time he does it, it's becoming worse and worse, and there's a much clearer understanding of just how incredibly unstable the man is. Okay, so being as how it's Friday, I want to take a look at Trump, and by extension, the White House, this coming week. Okay, so for the most part, it should be quiet. Let's hope he goes to Mar-a-Lago or wherever he goes for Christmas and stays quiet. But come on down, I have a question. Tell me about Trump, week of the 22nd, and Christmas. Trump, week of the 22nd, and Christmas. Trump, week of the 22nd, and Christmas. Sorry about that interruption. Okay, so here we go. We're taking a look at Trump, his coming week, and Christmas. Okay. In some ways, the kind of like reality of what has happened is just starting to sink in, because he's starting to recognize that even though there are some people railing against the fact that, oh my gosh, how could that have happened to this paragon of virtue here, but some part of his brain actually thought that it could be averted. And now he realizes that the word impeachment is forever and ever, amen, thank you God, attached to Trump's name. And so now those around him are having to deal with the backlash of that. So he's pretty testy. He's pretty angry. Ranting, raving, screaming, kicking, throwing. None of that is outside of the realm of possibility with this volatile energy that I'm picking up on. So he really does, right? He sees the death of the dream for him to become emperor. He's going to continue to push and try. I just don't see it working out so well for him. Like, I don't see that this is actually going to gain him a lot of momentum. And frankly, the more he acts out and the more belligerently he behaves and the more he carries on as if some horrible injustice has been done to him and he's acting like a child, it's turning off people. It's especially turning off women, because women just don't respond well to that ongoing, whiny energy. Hey, Skittles, what can I do for you? Stay. Wait. Sorry. So, yeah, it's not looking good. Oh my. All right. Here we go again. Okay, so you've got a fear of secrets coming out. You've got a fear of, or a desire or wish to go back to the past. And you've got the devil sitting here. So, it's like this. This is not going to be pleasant. It's going to be a very difficult, I want to say, next 10, 12 days for him. It's just not going to bode well. Between now and the end of the year, there is going to be a lot of agitation. There's going to be a lot of anger. And he's going to be, frankly, I want to say, right, kind of difficult to deal with. Almost as if he wants to go into seclusion and hide away from the reality of what is his life. And one of the realities that is his life is the fact that impeachment is now forevermore attached to his name, as I've said. That is just bugging him at a level that if we think that we have seen agitated before, and God knows all of us have witnessed too much of it, you can anticipate some real agitation, some outbursts going on between now and the physical end of the year. Mulvaney is on dicey ground. He knows the secrets, right? He knows a lot of what went on behind the scenes, but Trump is so angry with him that he doesn't, as usual, he doesn't care or concern himself about the consequences or how it looks or how that might, he doesn't care. He just wants them out of his face. So Mulvaney, I see gone. I know there's talk about it right now. I would not be at all surprised if either before the end of this day or Monday, he's not sort of gently asked to leave or, tweeted about, because we're talking Trump here. I see that they're talking about Mark Meadows to replace him as chief of staff. And that is not that is just not good. Okay, it's not, because what you're going to end up there with somebody who is going to embolden Trump. Okay, so it was bad enough that Mulvaney, really, his attitude was, I am not going to try to harness this guy. I'm not going to try to keep him on trap. He's just let Trump be Trump nonsense. But with Mark Meadows, you have someone who will actually embolden him to continue acting out and continue to being sort of in that mental state that he's in. And so that's going to be interesting and frankly a little scary to watch if that ends up transpiring. So he's just angry, I'm really trying, but all I keep getting is this just energy of anger and frustration, and he sees the work of a lifetime blowing up, and he's being very melodramatic and very theatrical. The judgment that has been passed down on him is so alarming and so distressing to him that you're going to see a lot of tweeting, a lot of statements, a lot of outbursts. It's not going to be a calm and peaceful period for him. And from what I can understand, things are going to get even worse once the clock rolls into 2020. It's also going to be super difficult for him. He's going to be able to hang on. He's going to be arguing. He's going to be fighting. He's going to continue to roll ahead as best he can, because I actually think on some level he believes that if this whole thing goes into a Senate hearing and they acquit him, then he'll be able to cancel out the impeachment. And he doesn't realize that, in fact, no, he's never going to be able to cancel out that impeachment. So interesting. Let's take a look. So what we have here is some heads rolling, and we have Trump being even more of what he already is that isn't a good thing. I want to take a look and see if we can get a bit of a quick heads up on what the hearing is going to look like, and if we have some idea of when that may in fact actually take place. So Trump Senate hearing, Trump Senate hearing, Trump Senate hearings. The truth really is sort of demanding its due. And I'm picking up on a really interesting energy. It feels as if I get a sense, okay, and so we know that Pelosi is sort of not handing over the articles of impeachment until she gets some sort of an assurance from McConnell that there's going to actually be some fairness in this trial. Okay, so this is it. There's actually going to be some stuff that comes out between now and the end of January. I'm not sure. But it's going to throw everything sort of into a little bit of a state of upheaval. You have the Senate hearing there's a change of fortune coming. But in this instance, I think that the change of fortune is coming not for Trump. I think although it is, this is like the Republicans. They are pushing the nonsense. They are pushing so hard that they just aren't, they all sound irrational now. They don't make any sense. And so the more they do that, the more their base is going to start to actually zero in on this and say, what the heck is going on? Like, why is Trump tweeting like crazy all the time? You know, this is Christmas. It's supposed to be, you know, everything's supposed to slow right down. But no, this guy's going on and on. He's going to be just sending out more and more and more energy, vibrational energy that is stressful. And that's going to make it very hard for the Senate, particularly Mitch McConnell, who's in there, you know, making no bones about the fact that he is so unimpartial. It is not even funny. But it's just going to, there's a feeling of chaos that is sort of descending. As I tap into this energy, it feels as if there are more things to come out, and some of them are going to be very, very damaging. It does not look, the tower for Trump, right? Being defensive for Trump. Fear of illumination, fear of the truth. You've got a change of fortune happening with illumination. So do I think that this trial is going to happen on January 6th, as it was sort of, or 9th, whenever they go back? I'm not sure. I think this may actually drag out into past the 15th. Before this thing sort of gets ironed out and goes forward. In some ways, by doing this, Nancy Pelosi is just holding on to the power that she has. And it's possible that there's reasons, again, behind the scenes that we're not aware of yet, but we're going to become aware of. So there's definitely going to be some big goings on behind the scenes. And again, we've got the Queen of Swords hitting here, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Swords, not to mention the Page. So you have a lot of energy and movement that's circling around the truth, that's circling around justice, that's power to Nancy Pelosi. And frankly, McConnell and the GOP are sort of stumbling a little bit, because what they sort of realize is that he's impeached. The damage is done. It's at this point kind of a foregone conclusion that he's going to be acquitted and not removed from office. So in some ways, whether this thing goes to trial or not, the House has basically accomplished the goal that the voters set out and mandated for them and said, let's get some checks on this guy. They have done that. And either way, whether they go to hearing or not, the way it feels right now is they're still going to end up with the same result. So I think that this delay tactic, it almost feels as if there is a bit of a delay, because there is some information that they are waiting to hit to become public, or for them to have complete clarity on. And once that starts moving, and once there's that break in the ice and the energy starts moving towards more exposure, more illumination, I just feel like that is part of the reason for the delay. There's something coming down the pike that we don't know about yet. But Mitch McConnell is not the only one with tricks up his sleeve, and he can do whatever he wants. He can behave however he wants. He is being watched. People are profoundly disappointed in him. And again, people who obstruct this to that degree, kind of end up drawing more attention to themselves, right? Because the question sort of has to be asked, why? Why can't they just do this above board and be level-headed and not sound crazy? And so even some of their own people are going to start looking around and shuffling their feet and trying to figure out sort of a little bit of how to get over this predicament that they're in. Okay. And let's do one more quick little look at I think I want to take a look at let's do Christmas. Let's do the Trump family and Christmas. Trump family Christmas, Trump family Christmas, Trump family Christmas. Now, I have heard nothing about where he's going, when he's going there, how long he's going to be there. I haven't heard anything about what that's looking like. So I'm not sure who's going to be where or what's going on. But let's take a look. He's going to be holding court. Okay, that's part of what he's going to be doing over the course of Christmas, because in Trump world, there may be moments or small pockets of time where there's actually interaction and functioning like a family, but for the most part, Christmas it's about being on display, right? So because he's going to be on display, he's going to be at Mar-a-Lago or wherever he's going to be. So he's going to hold court. And the reason he's going to hold court is because he's looking for people to give him a new perspective. Tell him he's been right and everyone else is wrong. So he is going into the season really, really searching for emotional comfort, because his heart is broken and he feels trapped and he's spiraling out of control and he doesn't have any clarity and he's not getting any rest. And so he's a mess. And so what does Trump do when he's a mess? He goes before people and talks and talks and talks about how he's right and how unjust the whole world is, and etc. Not at all different from what we see at his rallies. And again, interesting. When I see those little clips of the rallies, I completely focus on the people behind him, and they're not looking like they're jumping and screaming in the stands at it. Everything he says is liquid gold. They're looking sort of confused to me. They're looking more straight-faced and somber. So the clapping feels kind of like perfunctory, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that continues to unfold, because you know what? Right, this is the thing, right, about Trump right now, is it's like looking at a car wreck, right? You understand that there's damage and things have been hurt and destroyed, but on some level you just sort of can't turn away. And that really is the energy that I get from those people on that podium beside Trump. There's just that feeling that they're just sort of willing hostages, maybe. So the family itself, the dynamics within the family, there's going to be a lot of comfort, emotional comfort, that they're going to need to be supplying Donald Trump with. Okay, this doesn't feel, at least certainly for the first few days of that Christmas vacation, it doesn't feel as if this is going to be a time to sort of push back on him or say, you know, maybe you shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda. This is the time to cuddle him and give him kisses on the forehead and tell him that everything's going to be all right magically somehow, because, you know, I don't know, you're just so darn special that reality and the rules don't apply to you. Well, yeah. He continues to be threatened by women, fear of powerful women. He is really, really feeling trapped right now, and he does not actually, with any clarity, see a way to get out of this. He knows, he can feel the truth is coming for him, and it's not comforting. Oh, and here comes justice right after that. So he, amidst the celebrations, he is incredibly, incredibly worried and frankly scared about what's going on. So the Trump family Christmas doesn't really feel like a family Christmas as much as it feels initially like a Trump therapy session, where he is, you know, coddled and comforted. And going forward, you're just going to see increased agitation from him. I would not be surprised if the family proper, to some degree, scatters a little bit. I wonder if it's not time for Jared and Ivanka to disappear on another one of their skiing trips. You know, because they, of course, never seem to be around when there's like a crisis going on with dear old dad. Yeah. So, you know what? Honestly, maybe we should just take comfort from the fact that probably whatever craziness is going on in our world between now and the 31st of the month and to the last day of this year, it is probably not going to be anywhere near as chaotic and insane as what is going on in that Trump inner circle, whether it is the inner circle at the White House, whether it is the inner circle of his family, or, you know, his allies that are such staunch supporters of him. It's not going well. You know, he is starting to see that there are really serious cracks in his foundation, and I'm not sure if he's even equipped to figure out how to stop those cracks from completely, you know, coming apart. I don't think he's going to be able to. All right, so since we're at the last weekend before Christmas, enjoy it, you know, bake your cookies, go shopping, watch Christmas movies, sing carols, whatever it takes. Let's stay in a really, really super positive frame of mind, not only for our own personal mental health, but for the energies around us and for the people around us that we love. So let's keep some of the negative stuff at bay a little bit. Finally, I just want to mention that private readings, I am currently booking mid-January forward, so there's still plenty of space available if you're wanting a reading early in the new year. Maybe you want to take a look at you know, what the coming year holds for you, or maybe you have some issues that already you would like to put to rest. So there is availability coming, so if you're interested at all in a private reading, please let me know. The information is in that little box below me. And thank you for everything. As usual, you guys amaze me and astound me. And have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Enjoy yourself. Count your blessings. Stay in a place of gratitude. And I will see you again on Monday. And I hope between now and then you have done some cool holiday stuff so that you're able to shake off some of the crazy that we now seem to be living in. Take care. Be well. We'll see you soon. Bye.